Hi, this is just a quick video. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what my legs look like by now, who's been following me on social media. And as you can see, there has not been any improvement at all. Yes, I have read the comments that people have made, only the constructive ones, of course, the ones that were abusive or derogatory or slagging other people off who were happy to give advice have been removed. And you can clearly see there's no improvement in my legs at all. I have been to the hospital. They gave me some more antibiotic cream. I now need to convince my GP to send me back to dermatology. And I know everyone keeps saying, stop touching your legs, wear gloves. And I'm like, okay, all right. I understand what you're saying. Hygiene, your hands are a really, really bad transmitter for germs. But I'm literally just trying to avoid touching any of the infected areas. But obviously I'm trying to show you the areas at the same time. The other suggestion that was made to me was to take off my ankle bracelet to try and improve the ones around my right leg. And as you can see, they have not improved at all. This is a fresh one that appeared this morning. Again, they're not bites, okay? Everyone keeps saying they're bites. They aren't bites, all right? They are all the way up my legs. They are even on my thigh. All right. As far as I'm aware, fleas can't jump that high, and I don't have any pets, so they're not bites. All right. They are basically like I have a high white blood cell count. And I know somebody suggested reduce my sugar intake, drink more water. Well, at the moment, I can't really eat anything because I'm having a procedure in a few days' time. And part of the routine to have this procedure is that you have to limit what you eat and what you drink. So basically, I'm on water and, clear liquids. That's the one behind my calf. And another person suggested to help me with my bile acid malabsorption was to have a higher protein diet. While to me, the high protein diet solution that you recommended is a form of Atkins. I am not under any circumstances going to start filling my body up with high protein products until I am 99% sure that my liver and my kidneys are functioning correctly. One of the risks of changing your diet dramatically is that it can then put a strain on your internal organs. I had to have my gallbladder removed when I was 31. They couldn't understand why somebody I wasn't overweight, my BMI was fine, everything about me was pointing to me being healthy. Yet my gallbladder had to be removed after the birth of my first child. And I had 15 gallstones in my gallbladder. Prior to having my gallbladder removed, yes, I was showing signs of having gallstones, but my doctors were not convinced that's what was wrong with me. So they kept advising me to change my diet and do this, do that, do the other. And as a result, it probably made my situation worse instead of better. I'm not a doctor, but I'm only going on how, things have been and reading up on what other people's experiences have been. I mean, there's been stories of women who have crash dieted before their weddings because they want to fit into a A-line or a Grecian-style dress. And the pressure that has then put on the body it's resulted in them having gallstones. I'm not saying that happens to everybody, but it is something that can happen. I myself, when I lived at home, I would say I was a lot more healthier than when I lived by myself. The first 4 years I lived by myself, I was literally having to measure out my food. I was never allowed to consume more than what was in a tub because I financially couldn't afford to feed myself properly. As a result of that, do I believe that's what caused my gallstones to escalate and get worse? Probably yes. I dropped from a size 14 to a size 8 in 4 years. It's not like it didn't happen overnight. It took me 4 years to do it. I still have the dress I wore to my sister's wedding, and it is an 8. All right, I am now probably a 16 after having 3 children. And again, I know that fluctuating with your weight and not managing your weight can trigger health problems. I'm not stupid. Okay, but the problem I've got is bile acid malabsorption. There is no cure for this. There is only prevention. There are things that you can now take that because it's been medically recognized as an illness, but nothing is 100%. So please feel free to comment. Please feel free to give me any other tips or guidance if you live with these conditions. But like I said, anyone being abusive to myself or anyone else will have their comments removed. But I just thought it was only fair to sort of, say that I have listened to what people have said. I have followed the tips and advice people have given me. I think another person said to help with my bursitis, which is in my right knee, is to do yoga. Well, I already do yoga. It is part of my daily routine of what I have to do to keep myself from atrophying. I am back under physio. They have given me a new set of exercises to do, and basically they are just stretches. They are what you would do if you went to yoga and you paid £10 for somebody to stand in a room, bang some cymbals in a leotard in front of you, going breathe in, breathe out, be a tree, be a cat, do the warrior stance, etc. I've been there, I've done that. I found it extremely boring, to be honest, and it wasn't for me. So I do yoga, and I do it at home, and I do the stretches that have been medically prescribed to me by a qualified physiotherapist in order to help to prevent my body from basically atrophying and to keep my limbs and everything supple. All right, like with any exercise or any regime you want to change in your life, you don't just do it overnight, you do it gradually, and everyone would always recommend that you seek medical advice. All right, I have done that. I've been there, I've done that, I've got the t-shirt, I have got the medical diagnosis. Up until, like I said, almost 3 weeks now, I was on personal independent payments, which took me 20 years to claim, because it took me 20 years to get diagnosed, because that is how long the waiting lists are, unfortunately, for certain diagnoses, because I'm not the only person in the country with PTSD, EUPD, OCD, anxiety, depression, bile acid malabsorption, an elevated white blood cell count, and I have probably gone through every single test imaginable over the last 20 years to rule out the inevitable. And the first test that a lot of the doctors will do is, do you have cancer? And in a way, I'm glad that they did that as the first test. But at the same time, the moment they said I didn't have cancer, the waiting time to then be tested for other things could be anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks to even 18 months. People are saying, if I'd paid privately, would I have known what was wrong with me sooner? Probably not, to be honest. Because unless they knew what they were looking for, they wouldn't have known what to test me for in the first place. So enjoy your Sunday. I will continue doing what I've been told to do by my GP, by my physio, by my specialists, and hopefully, if this has not improved by next week, because the only thing I can drink up until I've had my procedure is water, then they're going to have to look at sending me to dermatology. So thank you once again. Enjoy your weekend, and bye for now.